Good day, everyone. For this day, I will talk about compassion, what it means, and how we can show it in our care for the people and for the environment, and why communal discernment, or deciding together as a group, is important in making our university and the world a more compassionate place. Let me begin with compassion. When we hear the word compassion, many of us think about pity or about feeling sorry for someone. But compassion is more than that. For me, compassion is when we allow ourselves to really feel the struggles of other people and then do something about it. It is not just about emotions in our heart. Compassion is love that moves. It is kindness that acts. Think about this. Imagine walking outside and seeing a child crying because he dropped his food and has nothing else to eat. If we only feel sorry but walk away, that is not compassion. But if we kneel down, comfort the child, and maybe share some food, that is compassion. The difference is action. Compassion is the choice to respond with care. In our daily lives, we can see many examples of compassion. For example, a classmate who patiently listens when we are stressed, even if they are busy. A teacher who understands our struggles and gives encouragement instead of judgment. A friend who checks on us when we are quiet or absent. These small actions might look ordinary, but they bring light to someone's life. That is compassion in action. Compassion can also be expressed in bigger ways. When we see volunteers giving relief goods during disasters or typhoons, doctors and nurses working day and night during the pandemic, or people donating blood to save strangers. These are all acts of compassion. They show us that even when the world is full of problems, compassion can keep hope alive. But compassion is not only about people. It is also about the world we live in, our environment. The earth is like a mother that gives us food, water, and shelter. Yet sadly, we often hurt it. We throw garbage in the rivers, cut trees without replanting, waste electricity and water, and use too much plastic. When we do this, the earth suffers, and so do we. To be compassionate toward the environment means treating it with care. It means thinking about how our action today will affect others tomorrow. For example, throwing trash properly may seem small, but it prevents floods and diseases. Saving water means there will be enough for everyone. Planting trees gives fresh air and shade not only to us but also to future generations. When we take care of nature, we are not only showing compassion to the planet but also to the people, especially the poor, who are most affected when nature is destroyed. Now, let us move to communal discernment. This may sound like a difficult term, but it is really very simple. Communal discernment means coming together as a group, whether as students, teachers, families, or communities to listen, reflect, and decide what is best for everyone. It is not about one person deciding for all, but about working together, respecting each voice, and searching for the common good. Why is this important for compassion? Because compassion cannot stay only inside one person to make real difference. Compassion needs to be shared. Problems like poverty, injustice, and climate change are too big for one person. They require us to think together, act together, and dream together. In our university, communal discernment can look like students' council, organizations, or groups sitting down to talk about how to make campus life better. For example, deciding how to help struggling students or classmates, or how to make the campus greener and cleaner. When students and teachers listen to each other and think about what is best for all, compassion grows. In a bigger world, communal discernment happens when leaders of countries gather into some place to talk about peace, about protecting the earth, or about helping the poor. One country alone cannot stop climate change, but when nations work together, guided by compassion, real change can happen. The same is true in local communities, barangays, towns, or churches. When people came together to listen and to care, the outcome is always better than when each one thinks only for themselves. Communal discernment also teaches us something very important: humility. It reminds us that our perspective is not the only one. Sometimes others see things that we miss. Sometimes the voice of the weak and the small reveal the truth and more clearly. In listening together, we learn that compassion is not just about helping others, but also about walking with them and giving them space to be heard. Okay, let me give you a simple picture. Imagine our school wants to start a project to help reduce plastic waste. If one person decides, maybe the project will only work for a short time. But if students, teachers, janitors, and even canteen staff all came together to talk, they can decide on a plan that is realistic and lasting. Maybe they agree to ban plastic straws or to encourage reusable containers. This is communal discernment in action, and it is rooted in compassion because it seeks the good of all. To end, I want to leave 3 points. Okay? First, compassion is not only about feeling, but also about choosing to act. It is choosing to care, to listen, to help, even in small ways. Second, compassion is shown not only in how we treat people, but also in how we care for our environment. When we care for the earth, we care for one another. Third, compassion became stronger through communal discernment. When we come together to listen, to reflect, and to decide for the common good, we build culture where compassion is not only personal, but it is for everyone, and it is shared. If we practice this in our daily lives, in our homes, our university, and even in our communities, then compassion will grow and it will spread. It will not just be a nice word, but a way of living and live. And little by little, it can make our school, our country, and our world a better place where kindness, care, and love are stronger than selfishness and indifference. Thank you